Hey everyone, this is Nathan with Doctors of Running, and today we're doing a sub 2 on the new Skechers Go Run Ride 11. This shoe comes in at 9.8 ounces or 278 grams in a men's size 9, or 7.6 ounces and 215 grams in a women's size 7. And here's why this shoe just didn't quite work for me. This shoe has a brand new midsole compound. It's called Hyperburst Ice, and it's notably softer and it feels bouncier. So there are some, and it actually feels really nice. The actual foam itself has a nice feel to it, and I am excited for what they do. But in this case, the shoe just didn't work for me for a number of reasons. First and simple was it was just way too tight in the toe box, not super constricting, but it would pull on kind of the front part of my forefoot, and it was just slightly uncomfortable and never really fully loosened up. So I wish there was a little bit more space here in the toe box. The main things, though, were in the geometry of the shoe. The first is they use their rocker geometry, which they call Hyper Arc. It has a heel bevel that comes pretty deep and far forward into the heel. And if you're, depending on where you're landing, for me, what it feels like is I land back there and it feels like a speed bump that I got to get up on before I can roll through on the shoe. So it feels like a pretty clunky entrance and feels very midfoot heavy. So there's a lot of foam here in the midfoot. Again, and I didn't even say this, but the stack is up. So you're at 38 millimeters in the heel and 32 in the forefoot for a 6 millimeter drop. But a lot of that feels concentrated in the midfoot, which just doesn't work well for me with the way this bevel's constructed. The other thing is in the forefoot, it has a carbon infused plate, but it's actually pretty flexible. You still get, there's some rigidity, but you get a lot of motion through this forefoot. And with how soft this foam is, it's weird for me to say this, but it could have done well with a little more rigidity, both in the forefoot, but definitely in the midfoot, as well as potentially widening the waist of the midfoot just to give it a little bit more structure. But if you're someone who loves soft, loves bouncy, and doesn't have any stability issues, this is something that you could take a look at.